The hash elif directive. Hash elif directive means else if and establishes an if-else if chain for multiple compilation options. It is also included in between the hash if and hash endif directives. The general form of hash elif directive is hash if constant expression 1 statements, hash elif constant expression 2 statements, hash elif constant expression 3 statements, so on. Hash elif constant expression n statements, brace close, hash endif, then follows the rest of the program statements. Every hash elif directive is followed by a constant expression. If the expression is true, the statements following it are compiled. If it is false, then the next hash elif expressions are tested. Let us see this with an example program. Hash define India 0, hash define US 1, hash define France 2, hash define my country India. Coming to main function, hash if my country equals US, check the condition. Printf country is US, this is to print the value. Hash elif my country equals India, this is the else part is executed if above condition is false. Printf country is India, hash elif my country equals France. Printf country is France, hash endif, this is the end of if, brace close. When I execute the program, the output is country is India. When we compile this program, the preprocessor first executes the directives hash define and replaces the corresponding values of all macros in the program. So, my country becomes India and India. My country becomes India and India, US, France become 0, 1, 2 respectively. So, the second constant expression 0 equals 0 becomes true. So, the preprocessor includes the statements of this hash elif part in the source code and it is then passed on to compilation phase. So, the output of this program is the string country is India. The hash if def directive, hash if def directive means if defined. The general form of hash if def directive is hash if def macro name statements semicolon hash end if. If macro name has been previously defined in hash define statement, the statements following it are compiled. Let us see this with an example. Hash define num10 main function, hash if def num. This checks for num is defined or not. Printf num is defined \n, this prints the value. Hash end if. When I execute this program, the output is num is defined. When we compile this program, the preprocessor checks whether num is defined or not. It is true since num is defined. So the preprocessor includes the statements between hash if def and hash end if in the source code and It is then passed on to compilation phase. So, the output of this program is the string num is defined.